He's like, we need to do an MRI. But they didn't know that I carried that MRI CD in my room for 4 years. Because the one I took at Brampton Hospital, I still had on me. I said, well, I have this. There it shows. He goes, what the fuck? Under his breath. It's like, let's go do a X-ray. It's called a flex X-ray. So I went like this. He goes, you need to sit down. I said, I am sitting down. He's like, I don't know how to tell you this, but you've been walking around hanging by a thread for 4 years. We need to have major surgery. And I have to be honest with you. Like, it's 50-50. Either you get paralyzed or you die during the surgery.
اللي بتأثر تنورة ليه بتأثر تنورة تلحقها عيون الشباب.
Welcome to another episode of the podcast. This is gonna be a rough one. We went hard last night.
Very hard.
We went hard, but we're here. We're warriors. We ain't gonna, I'm gonna raise no bitch. Okay.
No.
We're gonna get this shit done. I want to start by saying thank you to Mademoiselle, Joey, Peter, the whole team for allowing us to do this inside this beautiful. What do we call this room?
It's called the Dom Room.
The Dom Room.
Yes.
Pink. It's got champagne. It's. We were here last night, so we know what it's like.
Yeah.
We know what it's like.
I'm here every night, but yeah.
Joey, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, I love your show. I'm so happy to be here.
We don't really have. We're just gonna talk.
Yeah.
We're just gonna talk.
Two guys on the street.
Two guys on the street talking. You got an Italian. I just did a little more Italian. I got Italians. I got Lebanese. It's gonna be a great episode. Joey T. Why don't you? We're in Mademoiselle. Let's just start with how'd you get connected with Mademoiselle? You're a partner in here. Tell us about that.
Oh, I was lucky enough to be asked, but how I met Peter was at Goldie nightclub. I was a VIP.
No, shout out Goldie.
So
Now
shout out-
extinct.
Yeah, extinct.
Extinct,
Yeah,
gone.
it's gone like the dinosaurs. So what happened? I'm upstairs. I used to get hired. I wasn't a promoter. They just liked my face. They're like, you just sit here. We'll give you a bottle and just be the Fonzarelli, do your thing, right? So I'm like, hey, I'll do it. So they paid me to do it too.
It's a good gig.
So I'm walking up. I'm upstairs. Peter comes with my friend Cabby on the street.
Cabby on the street.
I
Cabral.
love him.
Great guy.
Comes up and he's like, hey, who are you? I said, what are you, Egyptian Darth Vader? I said, what's wrong with your voice? Who are you? He's like, let's go. I'm like,
Let's
go.
go.
Work. He's like, no, let's go. I said, go where? He's like, trust me. And
That's all he said.
That's how I went to the first club. I saw more flares than a fucking Wonderland ride. I was like, what the heck are you? It was only two of us.
What clubs you guys go to?
We went to EFS.
Shout out EFS. Also
Shout out
extinct now.
EFS. Love you, Sacco.
Love you, Sack.
And that's how we met. Friends. But where we came very close was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Whole city shut down. And our group kind of formed. Like, we had a group that we knew each other in the streets, but like during the pandemic, Peter took us in and we would just chill together. We would sit in a restaurant or sit at my house, sit at his house, even though we weren't allowed to have 3.5 people and a midget and 2 midgets. Count as
Shout
one
out the red
person.
tape in the city.
Shout out to Red Tape and Midgets. And we just got to become friends. And then I was a partner at some other venues. And he's like, yo, why don't you just come with me? I said, wow, I never knew. He's like, you're an idiot. You should have done. I said, okay, done. I literally gave him a check the day before Mademoiselle opened. And I'm lucky because his business partners are like brothers and sisters to me. Anna and Alfie, shout out to them.
Shout out them.
They're amazing people. And then
Alfie.
Peter's like Wayne Gretzky and I'm Mary Lemieux. You know what I mean?
But Wayne and Mario.
Yeah.
Wow, that's special. So that's how we got to essentially do this podcast
100%.
here. And I've had last night was a movie. I've had many countless amazing nights here. So shout out to you and the whole team. This episode is about you, Joey T.
Yes.
Take me back. I mean, you got some grays, so I know you got some.
I've been on the streets.
You've been on the streets for a while.
Terry's parents met each other. Been with girls since he's been finger painting. Okay. Since you've been jump roping, Terry, I've been on the streets giving out more tickets than a cop. Okay. So,
How many kills?
you ever watch the movie 300? How many people did Gerard Butler take down in that movie?
This is a one-liner. The real on this episode. Fuck.
I felt so many.
Joey
people.
T.
Okay.
I'm not gonna ask you how old you are, but I want to know about young Joey T.
I'm 43 years old. Born
Okay.
July 10th. Never got to celebrate my birthday with my classmates, but I had a good 10 when it came
I
back.
mean, summertime, yeah.
It's summertime. What are you gonna
Yeah.
do?
Born where, raised where?
Born in Etobicoke, raised in Brampton.
Shout out to Etobicoke and Brampton.
Shout out to Etobicoke and Brampton, but everyone thinks I'm from Woodbridge. And I always have, and they don't believe that my real name is actually Joey on my birth certificate.
Not Joseph.
It's not Joseph, not Giuseppe, it's Joey. As my mom said, when I'm 80 years old, she wants me to be young at heart.
No way.
And that's why I still have a brain.
I love that.
I have a brain of a 7.
Shout out Mom and shout out
Oh,
Silvio.
I love you both.
We'll get to you guys
Get
soon.
to you guys soon. You guys.
Thank you for dinner last night.
100%.
I wasn't there, but Joey.
I put up the videos. Cheers.
shout out the house account for taking care of all the drinks today. We got to videotape how many we do because Anyways, continue.
So before I came to Living Legend of King Street, I was raised by 2 beautiful parents. My dad was a mechanic. My mom was a stay-at-home mother, and she's beautiful. She's like 3'4", 3 apples tall. But that woman to me is my favorite person on the earth. I tell my dad, I love you. Just get back to work, pay our bills.
He looks like Saddam Hussein.
He looks like Saddam Hussein. He was always angry growing up. I was like, my mom, why'd you marry this junk? Like,
Yeah.
I always thought she cheated on him with a model in Milan and made me. But he's actually my real father. But he worked his ass off. He supported my soccer. And then I have 2 beautiful sisters who are older than me.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew
Uncle
up.
Joey?
I'm Uncle Joe. I've been an uncle since 99. Terry, were you even born in 99? Oh, jeez, you're probably
No fucking way.
He's probably my nephew too.
Fucking old.
And my sisters gave me a nephew and niece. I have two nephews, 1 niece. Mm-hmm. And I grew up with
What are your nephews old up to come?
My oldest nephew is Nicholas. I love the kid. He's 25 years
Shout
old.
out Nick.
Nick, wherever you are. He comes out with me. I've been taking him out since he was 16. Used to put little high heels on him just to get him in.
Fake ID and call it
My
in.
niece Cassie and my 12-year-old nephew Luke, who's unbelievable. Guy been telling me since he was 6 years old, how come you don't have a family? I said, you guys are my family.
Yeah.
He just didn't understand why I didn't bring any package. With me. I said, I'm the total package, like Lex Luger. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Lex Luger. Lex fucking Luger.
So,
shout out fucking Lex Luger.
Shout out to Lex Luger.
Shout out Lex
Before I
Luger.
give someone a forearm in here. Okay?
Dad off the boat. Mom and dad off the boat.
Both off the boat, but my mom came here when she was 3, so she's more Canadianized than my dad. My dad still said sophistication. He can never get, he's got mathematics. He says stuff like sometimes if I could smack his mustache off, I would. 'Cause he's had that thing since the 80s, right?
Dad's old school. He's
old school. No, he was such a hard worker. He would come home he had his own shop, Silvio's Service Center, and he knew I couldn't even close the door on the way out. Right? So he never took me there. And he would come home and start digging. I said, what the fuck? You trying to go to China? Like, why are you digging? He was making gardens. He was always doing something.
The man's man.
And he knows, he always told me, I have 3 daughters. And you're my 3rd daughter. I said, but at least I'm the prettiest. I said, okay. I said I'm not.
I have 3 daughters.
I'll tell you one story. I love my father's story. So he's like, if you don't cut the grass, by the time I get home, I'm going to nail your balls to the wall. I said, holy fuck.
Fucking Silvio doesn't play around.
What's with the threats? So I said, no problem, I'll do it. But I smoked a lot of weed growing up, right? I don't do drugs anymore. Thank God the city would burn down if I did blow or anything. Imagine me on blow. Game's over. Cheers to that. Cheers to blow.
The farina. No farina.
No farina. Plato or plomo. So he told me to cut the grass. And I had 2 acres. We lived in Castlemore, a lot of farm back then.
This is Brampton now?
Brampton. And I cut the whole grass. It took me 3 hours to cut it. But I didn't put the blade down. And I was boxed out of my mind. So I come home, and my dad had a whistle.
You never put the blade down?
Never put the blade down. But I did the whole...
You did 3 hours of just driving?
Just like this, just looking good. I felt like I was Miami
You were high, so you didn't see no grass.
I didn't care about that. I smoked the grass, okay? So 3 hours go by. My dad had a whistle. You could be at an Axl, like a Guns N' Roses concert, you'll hear it. It's like, and it goes right through. Like, oh, fuck
with the...
He doesn't even use his fingers, bro. He's all tongue and like a shotgun, bro. So I hear the whistle. I'm like, what's this guy's problem? I come to the door, but I'm confident when I come to the door. Like I'm like McGregor.
Chest out, yeah.
Like McGregor. I just walk up to him. I said, what's your problem? Just come with me. He always has this thing. He's like, come with me. I'm like, all right. Let's look at the grass. I said, yeah, I saw the lines.
Oh, the lines were there because you drove over.
Yeah. And he goes, you forgot to put the fucking blade. Oh.
No, upside the head.
Gone. Woke up 3 days later. Grass was cut. But I didn't do it.
Shout out Silvio.
Shout out Silvio.
Hey.
No, but at the end of the day, that guy raised. We were on his back for the ride. He worked his ass off. I always used to be, now I understand everything he was saying. And that's why I love you too. I see how you're with your family. I love that.
Shout out Dom. We love you, Dom. We love you, Chef Free. We
like
love
that
you guys.
episode, you guys were in the pool. I wanted to come swimming. No one invited me. It's hot that day, but I live at Fashion House. I'm like Mitch Buchanan up there. So I'm saving people.
Joe, I think that sort of parenting is like kind of dead in a way with society now.
I don't see it anymore, and I find it weird. Like I ask my friends, don't you go home and see your parents? Like, don't you like want to like? every Tuesday, I'm at my parents' house. I don't care if Janet Jackson calls me. I don't care if there's going to be a threesome or something. I'm going to eat my pasta, and I'm not missing that time at that table because we're getting older, brother. And you know that. And that's really, at the end of the day, they have our backs. And like, I love my friends, but I got to be there every Tuesday.
Well, friends is fun, man. We have so much fucking fun now when we go out. Like, everyone's in a good mood. Everyone just has the same goals, same mindset.
I love the city because it's like we have our generation, and then you see the young youths, and you're like, we're so different, but pass me a vodka soda. I'll tell you. Sit on my lap, and I'll tell you about the 90s.
Buddy, I got friends that I party with, they're 50. Friends that I party with, they're 20. Like, I take my cousins out, their first time ever out. Like,
but do you find it, because you're a legend like me, like when you say a joke sometimes, but you say it to a person that doesn't remember that stuff, and they look at you like, who the fuck's Zach Morris? And you're like,
shout out Kelly.
Shout out
I
Kelly.
still want you. I still want you. Joe, well, here's what I can say. I wanted to do this podcast in a way, and in the bio is politically incorrect. It's politically incorrect in the sense that I want to joke with you, I want to fuck with you, but you can't be sensitive about it. You got to. It's a joke. It's called a joke because it's not serious. It's not meant with ill intent. No. But the society that we face today. It's one thing to fucking identify as a cat and an elephant, that whole fucking thing. That's you and God, and you deal with it. But like, if I joke with you, give it back. I take it as much as I can.
I love when people hammer. I laugh. I feed off it, and then if I got one up on you,
that's on me. I'm better than you.
That's it. So it's like especially on Instagram, we both do this well. We're funny, but we don't push any buttons.
No,
I don't want to hear it. I'm not married for that reason.
Yeah,
I wake up alone.
Shout out not being married.
Shout out about not being married. You know?
Shout out not being married.
I have Uber share for a reason. You know, when they gotta go, there's some friends for you on the way home. You know, but it's not gonna be me. It's carpool. You guys ever watch the?
Send an Uber pool.
You guys want to sing like Lady Gaga on the way home? Sing away. You know, give me a vodka soda. I'm here.
Joe, the way the city is now, because you're obviously in the business.
Oof, totally different
than what it was like 20 years ago.
Wow. Growing up, I met Charles Caboose.
Shout out fucking
Shout
Charles.
out that legend.
Trying to have you on the pod soon.
He
whenever
is,
you can.
to me, he's the godfather of Toronto.
Government. Shout out government.
See, one thing with me, I love every owner in the city. I don't have, like that. I know, I'll shake your hand, I'll hug you. Like,
you go buy a bottle there, buy
the
a bottle.
Mickeys, the Maddies, like, I've known them for fucking a long time now. So they're my friends. I don't see it as competition. I see it as, I'm going to come to your place and I'm probably going to be doing the sprinkler. But I love you guys. But Charles, I remember in like early 2000s, I was dressed as Spider-Man. And I was at This Is London. And it was jammed. And he was just like James Dean against the wall. And I know he's the owner. And I'm like, Charles, and it's a lineup. I said, I'm trying so hard to smash this girl inside. I know I'm dressed like Spider-Man, but please, I think I got a chance tonight. He looks at me, looks at the door, let him in.
No way.
That's how I met Charles.
Legend, Charles. Shout out legend.
Charles.
Lebanese.
And I got that kill that night. Thanks.
Yeah. One of how many?
You got a calculator? Yeah, I just find the nightlife is totally. How old are you now?
I'm up there.
23?
30
something.
26.
But it's totally different. Like the atmosphere, like it used to be more club driven before. Now it's more supper club.
Supper club.
And it never used to be like that before. Now I prefer to go to a supper club vibe than a nightclub.
I think what it is I love talking to people. And sometimes in a club, you can maybe yell at someone in the ear, but you know,
it's harder.
You're trying to pick up what Belletz is a chick.
Belletz, yeah,
Belletz is a guy or a girl.
It could be everything. Like I have friends, and I forget sometimes, like they're not my culture or whatever, and I call him Belletz. Like Baca's my brother, and like
not nice. We love you.
Not nice. Say
Shout
it twice.
Out Baca.
I once said to Baca, there's two girls. A side story, and they're like, Baca's not nice, but I hit it twice, right? So, but. I remember once I said, hey, Belletz. And he was like, what'd you just call me? Like, we were just starting to become friends. But then I broke down the meaning of Belletz, and now that's all he says. It's crazy how that word.
It's a great word.
My Lebanese friends say it. My Persian friend, Peter, he doesn't even call me Joey. It's Belletz. Mickey, Belletz. Like, these are guys I never would have thought would use that word. It's just a word like, you're beautiful.
It's an endearing word.
It's not, you're coming on to anyone, but I call girls Belletz. I call guys Belletz. I call anybody who's in front of me is a Belletz. Even John Mark down the street is a Belletz. He might not have shoes on, but he's a Belletz.
Yeah, no, the city, it's different, man. But I love supper clubs. I love what you guys do here. We now have Mediterranean Mondays.
It's a great night.
Lebanese,
Peter brought that to the city. Yeah. And I remember this is how it started. He came up with a concept, but one night he started playing Arabic music. I said, bro, this music I don't
It
know why
slaps.
I don't know why there's always wars on that side. This music, I fucking want to make love to somebody. I'm just like this. I'm like, Peter, keep playing it because I could see the crowd.
Crowd's vibing.
They get up, and I'm like, and then he's like, we should maybe do something on Mondays. I'm like, you know what? I don't know if that's gonna work, but buddy, no, every Monday it's a vibe in here. It's
a vibe
it's
in
fun. You know, we have people like you that come steady, and we just smile when you come through the door, man.
It's like I'm back home, like I'm back in Beirut, and I know all the guys, the drummers, and the
all
dancers.
my Persian friends upstairs, all the realtors, they were all upstairs.
Shout out to Toronto.
Shout out to Toronto. They were curbside appeal. They were all upstairs, and they said that this reminds me of back home, and I love that stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I love about cultures is when they get emotional about like their upbringing. I feed off that shit.
Bro, there's not one person in here and I watch. When the drummers come out and the snakes and the fires and everything, I look around and I'm like, there's not one person that's like giving like this is
no.
a bad
Everybody
face. Everyone's like
vibing.
enamored. They're like,
even like for a guy like me, Italian. I have Italian friends who come on Monday. They're having a blast.
yeah.
You can't be upset or sitting down and not have a good time on Mediterranean Mondays. Shout out to Mediterranean Mondays.
Shout out Mad Mondays. Let's
Shout
keep
out
going
A-Rod.
to. I mean, Monday's a great day to go out because Tuesdays not really much going on.
No, just Toonie Tuesdays and the movies are half off.
Dinner at mom's.
Yeah, dinner at mom's and I pick a date to go to VIP at Dundas.
I'll take you Tuesday.
I get her a flat water and then I get the
Tuesday's a good day to just lay low. Maybe hit ultraviolet if you're really
yeah.
feeling good.
Or you
Shout
go
out Sack, shout out everybody.
Escobar if you feel like
Yeah. That's one thing about the city I'll say before we get to the next topic. There's always something to do any day of the week.
It's scary.
It's scary. It's bad for the body.
Especially me because I've been in the business like for working for people. Now that I have my own place, it's like I'm gonna rest tonight. Like last night I was supposed to rest. By 11:45 I was speaking German. And I'm not German. And I didn't understand how it got there. But it's just when you walk in here, you just
There's a vibe. I see you. Let's go.
Yeah.
A-Rod, let's go to the bar.
I can't walk by you without having a shot. And you always say, enjoy a shot. I'm like, just shoot me. I don't want the shot. And that's how it is. That's
why I like to be in the middle, eh?
You're always in the
that's
middle.
why I always get.
You're special. That's why we get along.
I love you guys. I love all you guys. I'm like you. I don't need or want or like to have any enemies. I mean, you might not like the way I move. You might not like some of the things I say, but you can't say I hate that guy.
You're a lot like me. You're conceited like me.
Yes.
But we're not narcissists. There's
No.
a difference.
No.
Someone once said to me, you're a narcissist. I said, no, I'm going to teach you the definition before you get in your Uber share. I said, a narcissist is someone who hurts people. A conceited person is just confident.
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
big
And that's
difference.
what me and you are. We walk in a room, chest is up.
Energy.
48 push-ups. I walk in here. I'm crushing someone tonight.
We got to go for a workout.
We got to go.
after this.
Same. But I'm going to have a vodka soda first. Let's have a drink, Belletz.
Oh,
Okay?
fuck. This is turning into ultraviolet way too fast.
But like
Anyways,
I said, that's the vibe we get, and that's the difference. I don't know why I'm bringing this up between a confident, conceited, narcissist. I don't like narcissists. I love.
I just think there's, sorry to cut you off. I just think there's too many people in the city that have evil eye and that either are jealous of how we choose to live our life, which is happy, confident, open. And I think people, maybe their own issues, internal issues. I'm not happy with my job. I'm not happy with my life. I'm not happy with my girl. She's fucking, I only got 4-inch cock. Like, whatever it is.
There's no time for that. And I tell people, like, the only people I'm jealous of who have their grandparents still. Because I miss my, that's what
God
I'm
rest their souls.
That's what I'm jealous of. Not jealous of your money. I have rich friends. I'm so happy you're rich. Give me a vodka soda. like, let's talk about it.
No, for real.
I love people with success stories. Like my friend Wissam, like he's a success story.
Shout out Wiso, currently on a world tour. He's
love
going
Wiso.
everywhere. If you want me to house sit for you at the Sheng, I got it. Great place.
God, rich friends are billionaires. Billionaires.
I love them all, and they're
like
they're
I'm
down
like,
to
you
earth,
amaze
too.
me, and I love that they're humble and they dress like they're just cutting the grass.
Joey, the Rolodex, that's why I attribute that to hospitality and all the clubs and
you
all the
crush
bars.
it.
The Rolodex, the network.
This guy's-
Oh, we're not filming here though. It's okay.
Don't
Grab
worry.
me a bottle of fucking Dom P.
Give me some Camus, you anus.
Hey, back, give me a taxi. Let's go.
Give me some Canis, you anus.
It's okay, man. Come on in whenever you want. That's fucking crazy. Hey, you see, the Dom P room's nuts.
He's our wine guy. He's spectacular. But the amount of people, I already knew a lot of people, but this restaurant, by being partners with Anna, Peter, Alfie, the athletes I'm meeting now, like, and they meet me, they're like, this guy's fucked.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go up to Crosby Newts, and then now we're like, he's my
Fuck, we were with
friend.
Henrik 2 weeks ago.
Lundqvist. And
Me, Joey, and Lundqvist. Tell the story. Me, Joey, and Lundqvist
watch
at the
this
bar.
story. So Lundqvist comes to his Hall of Fame dinner. Peter's like, make sure when someone comes in and he's not here, he'll tell me.
Let me preface this by I get to Med Monday because it was a Monday, and I look up and I thought it was a wedding. Because to see all these guys dressed in suits, these girls
Beautiful
dressed in the
man,
nines.
yeah.
I'm like, these white people decided to come to Mediterranean Monday for a
He
wedding.
came after his Hall of Fame speech.
Right, so then go continue, yeah.
So he came on the Saturday.
Hendrik Lundqvist, by the way,
Oh.
all-star goalie, Hall of Fame goalie.
He's Hank, the best looking
Hank,
hockey
yeah.
player
Oh,
of all
he's
time.
maybe the best looking
He's dressed
person.
like me after I go to Père Louis. Shout out to Père Louis. That's my secret place. I meet him, and Peter's like, go up to him. I'm like, hi, I'm Joy. There's 3 altercations. Hi, I'm Joy. If you need anything, let me know. Oh, thank you. Like, not second time.
Not fanboying first.
No,
fanboying.
never. I'm a
You're
big
the celebrity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the star. Okay, so I walk in the second time. How do you like your steak? It's like, I like it medium well, but my wife likes it medium. No problem. Third time, let's go get it, Hank. Hank. And after that, you saw us Monday, and I don't like bringing other
This was
friends.
on the Sunday or the day before?
The Saturday, 2 days before, but then I saw you on the Monday, and I won't bring.
Let me tell you what happened. I'll cut you off.
You go.
I'm in the DJ booth with my boy DJ Hattie. Shout out DJ Hattie. We love you. You do a great job every Monday. And I wasn't super busy, so like you could see through whatever.
It was later on in the night.
It was later on the night.
Yeah.
It was like 1:30.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go to Lost, and I want to have a crazy night. I was chilling. And I make eye contact with Joey. You see those crystal blue eyes.
Four color eyes.
4 color eyes.
Scary. It's like
And he looks at me and he's like, no way. And he like couldn't believe like I was alone.
Yeah,
like,
you were alone. You caught my eye. I thought,
like
thought
you
it
want to fuck me or
thought
something.
it
I
was
don't know.
Moses,
It was
yeah.
weird, yeah.
I was like-
So anyways, he beelines it to me. He goes, bar now. And for 2 people, I think he ordered about 16 drinks. I'm not even shout out what's the girl's name? The bartender?
I don't
She's
know the
gorgeous.
names.
Persian, Indian, what is she? Deandra? Whatever.
Yeah,
she was
yeah,
lost. She saw 2 Belletz. She wanted to go to
It was
the anyways.
over.
Long story short, he ordered like 60 drinks. She looks around. She's like, there's no one here. Who are these drinks for?
It's for the tunnels.
Yeah, it's for the tunnels. And we went back to back to back to back. And then who shows up? I think we went and grabbed Hank.
I grabbed Hank, and I let you do your thing, and he liked you right away. But that's what I'm saying. I can't bring other friends who are going to be like fanboy, and I would never do that, especially to Peter's friends that he has a relationship with.
Yeah.
I'm not going in there like, oh my god, look who you are.
Yeah.
But like 5 minutes into it, like we were hugging each other, singing "Sweet Caroline."
Sweet Caroline.
Like we just won
The other song, I had no clue the words.
No
I was
idea.
Just...
It was an Elvis song, "Suspicious Mind."
Yeah.
But I said, "Belletz, you got to learn it now, okay?
think
If I
they-
come to Lebanon, I'm gonna learn your songs. Figure
Here's
it
the
out."
funniest part. All the songs they requested, Hattie didn't have them because like between Mediterranean Money and house music.
I said, "Figure it out, Heidi."
He's like, give me a hotspot. I don't have the Wi-Fi. I'm like, let's go. Sweet Caroline starts coming on. The other song, I didn't know the words.
He wanted to hear just some like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
And,
Oh fuck! I was
and-
like
and
Rainbow.
When
I was
these
like-
people come in, celebrity or not, and they want to hear something, we give it to them too.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
more towards the end of the night. Like
Yeah.
you can't play like.
Oh, they were in their fucking glory, man.
Oh,
they were
they
the
got-
only ones left.
Imagine making the Hall of Fame. Your family's with you. You had some beautiful family. It was just nice. And
It was
like,
a great vibe. He had the ring on. He looked like a
the
fucking
TIFF
million
events
bucks.
here that we have
Yeah.
like real celebrities coming in here, and it's just like wow. Like I'm lucky to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And it's a job. People are like, how do you do it? I said, I don't know. I just show up.
Let me tell you this, Joe, and I know you know this. Peter knows it. Mickey, Sack, all the guys that have been Charles that have been in the industry for years. It's a tough business in the sense that you always got to be on in a way. Like if someone walks into the restaurant and you're like angry or sad, it's like doesn't look good on you,
they'll know right away. They're like, is something wrong with you? And I find the hardest thing is when it's really busy and I'm like, can you get me a table? I'm like, look around. You want to sit in the parking lot? There's nothing left.
And
You
they
still
think that
can't-
is disrespect. Eh?
and you can't. So
Yeah.
it's hard to be on all the time. There's just sometimes where I don't want to have a conversation.
Yeah.
So I try to like I'm on an escalator.
Yeah,
I'll be
like,
like,
you keep
and
moving.
I'm gone.
Yeah.
But like,
I think your big thing is you give like the 1 second and you like walk away.
yeah, and I'd be like, I'm busy, but
Yeah.
life could be worse. Like I
Yeah.
could be doing a hard job.
It's a
like,
good problem to have.
Like
yeah.
imagine being a roofer in the summer. Like
Yeah.
there's no one giving you a vodka soda up there. Like you're just gonna land on your ass, right? So for that,
By the way,
I
what's your
love
favorite drink? The people don't know.
vodka soda. Like, it's like Botox in a cup. Like I haven't aged. I'm like Benjamin Belletz.
Yeah, no wrinkles. It's nuts.
It's and I remember my teacher saying to me, "You're not gonna have that face forever." Shout out to wherever you are. I'm not gonna mention you.
Mrs. or Mr.
I'm not gonna give her that satisfaction and give her. She probably has 32 followers. She's gonna get 35 by the time I say her name. I'm guaranteed 4 followers. You know?
At least.
At least presence alone. But she always said that to me. You're not gonna have that face forever, but it's still here.
Still here.
Still here.
Okay, now we talked about a lot of fun stuff, but it's not just we're not just 2 drunk assholes that don't have history and stories and everything.
Past,
So
past.
a past. So I know Joe. While we were thinking about doing this, you said, "Listen, it's not just gonna be like a we're just gonna fuck around. He's like, I got stories. And for me with the podcast, it's always about trying to maybe send a message. I had my cousin on; she was a cancer survivor.
I saw that, yeah.
Like things like that.
episode, yeah.
My friend had to talk
Real
about mental
stuff,
health. Like,
yeah.
it's like that resonates because someone, maybe you only get 200 views, 500 views, but one person will watch and be like, someone else is going through it. A guy that
100%.
was seemingly like always happy, always on, always drinking, always lit. So Joe, I'll leave the floor to you because you've been through a lot of shit, and you told me, and that's why I was like, whoa, I didn't know anything.
Yeah, I remember I was telling you were looking at me like, what the heck? And I had a book published during the pandemic. I'm a co-author, but I'm not an author. But I had an author work with me, and we designed the book, not designed it, but my life, called Push Forward. Growing up to 13 years old, I just start creating this OCD-ish kind of thing where I start washing a lot. And I remember they bring my dad in. They're like, something's wrong with your son. And he's like, no, something's wrong with you. And then they're like, he needs medication. But then I started smoking weed. And it just went away till I was 28 years old. Long story short, I have a panic attack. My last drug I ever taken was a joint, but it was a blessing in disguise, and I'll get back to that. I moved back home in my prime, 28 years old, and I'm messed up. And they don't know if it's because of the weed. They don't know what's wrong, but all of a sudden I have anxiety, depression, phobias, OCD, living in my parents' basement from being downtown. I don't go out for 4 years. I don't travel. I would go on dates, but I felt off, but I wasn't doing anything. 7 psychiatrists, 2 neurologists. They're like, no, nothing's wrong with you. It's all in your mind. And this is going on for 4 years.
From 28 to 32.
28 to going into my 33rd birthday. Like, it's a serious thing. Like, I tried to take my life twice. Like, when I wrote this book, my mother, like, would read a chapter at a time. She wouldn't talk to me for 3-4 days because thank God for her. She was there, but she didn't know what I was actually going through. So it was tough for her to read it. And then she couldn't talk to me. So I'm like, Mom, talk to me. You got to make me some pasta. Something's going to happen here. But I suffered for 4 years. And I said, if I ever get out of this, I want to help people. Like, people might see me now and never know that I had a blood phobia. If I saw anything red, if I touched it or stepped on anything red on the pavement, I would take my shoes off on the spot and throw them out. I was going to girls' houses with no shoes on. And you know how good looking you gotta be to not have a nice shoes face on? Yeah. They're like, where's your shoes? I'm like, oh yeah, they're in my trunk. And my dad would open up my trunk and I would have shoe boxes because I would go back to the same place and buy the same pair of shoes over. And that was just one set of problem. But I was also feeling pain because what I had, they missed in the MRI, was a torn ligament. My vertebrae was hanging by a thread on my skull for 4 years.
That's why, I don't know if you don't mind. You have
I have a huge scar.
If you just turn around, we can get, there's a huge scar on the back of Joey's neck.
Yeah, everyone's like, why are you so stiff? I said, look, follow the line. Stop doing blow and look at the line in the back of my head. Shout out to Blow. But what happened was...
who was in Blow? Was it
Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Shout out Johnny Depp. Beat Amber Heard in that fucking case. Shout out Johnny Depp.
Amber.
Man's man.
Please,
fuck Amber. Don't give us that
I wouldn't even look at an Amber alert because of Amber. I'll tell you that. Okay.
Reel that.
Change it up. Switch the name.
Yeah, switch the name.
Put a Sonya alert.
A fucking lying whore.
Or a Belletz alert. someone's going to say.
Are you going to look for the kid if it's
where you look at your phone? Belletz alert. Oh, Joy's coming over? No, Timothy. Timothy was at Yorkdale.
Timothy's in a fucking Ford Expedition going west on 401.
Timothy's in Arizona right now. It's at the border.
Fuck.
Okay, sorry.
No, only one guy can actually make light of a serious situation.
Yeah.
But I love that, Joey. Continue.
Okay, back to this. So I see a neurologist. It shows in my MRI that I need major neck surgery. The first guy goes, maybe you should go work out. It's all in your head. I'm like, but why do I feel this pain? Like, it was like I got jumped every morning, but I'm not drinking. I'm not going out. I'm not smoking. I'm not doing drugs.
Where's the pain? Like,
it's right here. It's like headaches because my brain's on a 45. It's because
your vertebrae was touching your.
It was like this. That's how my vertebrae was on my skull. So any little car accident, I die. So I asked my doctors, please.
Did you like work out and shit during this?
Anything I lifted, I was like, whoa, what the heck? So I'm like, why am I? Was it the last joint I smoked? Was it because I broke up with my ex? And I was like, is this karma? I'm like, am I ever going to be normal again? My parents are saying to my sisters, if we ever go, you got to take this Belletz in your basement and take care of them. Yeah. Like, I joke about it, but I was like, they were like, this guy, like,
When everyone tells you nothing's wrong, but you know
I'm
something's
walking
wrong.
around with socks in my hands because I can't touch anything, and I'm fucked, and I have depression.
Physical, mental, the whole
Physical, mental, and even though my dad at the beginning, he's like, "What's wrong with you? Be a man." But like, in his hard ass way, he was there to be like, you got to get through this."
Yeah, you're
right?
gonna be okay.
But they still didn't know what. So I get another neurologist to do my MRI, to look at my MRI, and he says I'm fine. But my doctor's like, "You're crazy. I'm not signing it. Go home." I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna get a new family doctor because I'm not feeling your vibe. You roll your eyes when I walk in." I get a new family doctor, and he has like a rap report like this, right? Like all the people, all the kills I got, like this big. And he's like, "I'm going to look at this. I'm going to send you to the best neurologist, neurosurgeon at St. Michael's." That's why I have this tattoo of St. Michael. Shout out to St. Michael's.
Shout out St.
Hospital.
Michael.
Love
Legend.
St. Michael's.
Legend.
And he goes, "If he says you're right, we're going to put you on medication." I said, "If he says that I'm wrong, I'll do heroin. I don't care. Give me anything. Just I can't
Make
live
the
like
pain
this.
go away. Yeah.
Make this mental, physical, because it was both.
Yeah.
Make it go away. Like I don't want to be here in this earth anymore."
Mm.
So I went to go see him. He's like, "We need to do an MRI." But they didn't know that I carried that MRI CD in my room for 4 years because the one I took at Brampton Hospital I still had on me. I said, "Well, I have this." He puts it in. He looks at it. He's like, "What the
The
fuck?"
original one.
The original
That
one.
they
4
examined
years.
already.
So I could be worse by the 4
Yeah,
years.
4 years.
But
Could've,
there
like
it
you said,
shows.
could've.
He goes, "What the fuck?" Under his breath. It's like, "Let's go do a little X-ray." It's called a flex X-ray. So I went like this. He goes, "You need to sit down." I said, "I am sitting down." He's like, "I don't know how to tell you this, but you've been walking around hanging by a thread for 4 years. We need to have major surgery. And I have to be honest with you. Like, it's 50-50. Either you get paralyzed or you die during the surgery because you're hanging. Like your vertebrae, it's your oxygen, it's your whole spinal. Like it connects to everything." I was actually fatal during the surgery. But the worst part about my surgery, no one told me they were going to put a tube in my peeps there. So I remember I woke up. First thing I said when I woke up, I said, "Am I paralyzed?" And they poked my toe. I said, "I almost, little Ike Turner, I almost hit her." Right? So I was
Shout out
like,
Ike and Tina.
Ike and Tina. Simply the best. And I'm sitting on my chair and I'm like, I go back to sleep, but I'm in pain because I have to wear a neck brace for 6 months. And I'm like, I go to the nurse. How come I haven't went to the bathroom like in a day? She picks up the Dumb and Johnny like this. And she's like, "You have been peeing."
Peeing into a tube.
I said, "But how?" She goes, "We put the thing inside your thing."
Oh, it's it like in your
"No."
hole.
Yeah. I said, "No,
Oh,
no,
fuck.
I never authorized it." That's probably the size of this little nipple. You guys
Shout out
to like little snapshots of this little Joey walking around. Like,
That's fucking insane.
So that's the thing. So long story short, little joke on the way out.
Yeah.
I was on.
You were in the hospital how long?
A day and a half.
And then they sent you home.
Sent me home. I had to sleep like this on a lazy boy for 6 months. As soon as my neck brace comes off, I moved back downtown, and it's like my life went back to normal. Because I always said to my mom, "I wish I had a broken back. I wish I broke my leg. I'd rather have physical pain than the mental." And that's why I did that
So
book.
was it actually like physically, was it fucking with
It
your
was
brain?
not aligned. It just, it's like I had.
Was it the pain that made you mentally, or was it actually like
I think it was a mixture of everything.
Yeah.
I think it was God saying, "I'm going to make you stop doing drugs, but you're going to suffer till you figure it out." Because I was a bad druggie. Like I would do like cocaine, weed. It was just bad. It was no future. Like it was
from like 15 to 28, you were a mess.
Oh, I was a mess. I was a mess. Yeah, I had no
you just worked odd
accountability.
Jobs.
I got by on just being funny. I would work here, but I wasn't true to like anything, who I was, right? So after that surgery, I moved downtown.
Did the doctors know when that started?
He thinks it's either when I was born or because the way they pulled me out, or it could have been I had a lot of car accidents.
So this is like from the beginning.
I used to play high-end soccer, played overseas. I played against people in the World Cup. That's all fun and games. But every time I had the ball, I'm like, "Oh, fuck. I feel like Tyson knocked me out." I'm like, "Why do I feel like I'm knocked?" And my coach used to get mad. "Head the fucking ball." I said, "I want to get some head." I'm like, "I had this fucking ball. It hurts." Thing is a cannon, right?
Yeah.
So I never felt aligned. And again, going back to the book, I wrote this book with that author, beautiful Ian Thornton. Shout out to Ian Thornton. He was amazing.
The book is, you wrote it all about that whole.
Basically, we would go through stuff. He would be like you, sitting down, but he's writing. And he'd make a chapter out of it. And I'd be like, "How the fuck does it sound like?" I said, "What are you, an avatar? How'd you do this?" Like, how does that? He would make a perfect chapter. We'd do a chapter a week. Sit down chapter, sit down. So during the pandemic, and I paid him out of my own pocket. But the amount of people that called me and said, "Mike, do you mind speaking to my daughter? She's suffering from this." And I said, "Bring it." Like, my mom's the best. She's just got notepads at home. "You got to call Senora Maria. She wants you to talk to her son. He's not doing too good. Can you call him?" Yeah, they
You're
call.
like the
And,
poster child, though.
and I don't care.
That's
And
good.
and that book is embarrassing. It
It
what
shows
you
your
see,
vulnerabilities. Yeah.
I always promise myself, if I get out of it,
Mm.
I don't give a fuck how I look like during it. Like, I really don't. And now we wrote a script about it. We have some big actors. We have a production studio. Now we're just raising funds. But I know this script. I know that I believe in it. And it's my grandmother's in it, my dad, and someone's going to be playing them and the big roles that they had. I know it's going to help people. And mental health to me, like, I could joke about it now because I like joking around, but that was the worst. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. Those 4 years, I don't know how I'm here right now. So when I'm always smiling, hugging, because I'm not there anymore.
Yeah.
So,
and you experienced what it was like.
and
to
I
be there.
experience when I hear people suffering and people that work for me or people I know, if they didn't live it, they're not going to understand you. And I tell this to people: you did not live this situation. How, if I tell you that you've never had a phobia and say, "I step on blood, I throw my shoe," you're gonna be like, "Bro, what are you on?"
Yeah.
Like, but that's what that person's going through. So
That's what it does to you.
that's what it does to you. And I love people messaging me and say, "You've helped my daughter, you've helped my son." And I know where they're at because I know what stage I was at during those 4 years. So the fact that there's a book about it, and my grandmother coming in my dreams trying to get me to like push forward, tira avante, that's what my grandfather used to always say, push forward.
Push
And
forward.
I got that tattooed on me, and he'd always used to say that, push forward, in Italian, but like just
Shout out,
push.
no.
Oh, the best. The two, they're angels. They see me. I love going to sleep because I get to see them. And yeah, that's what my book's all about. So it's not all fun and games. It's funny, when I told you that night, we were having a great
Well, that's
time.
what I locked in the podcast. I
Yeah,
was like,
and then I
okay.
said, man, I have another side to me that is more important than anything.
Yeah.
And again, it's embarrassing, but I don't care. Like, I know it's gonna help people, and that's all that matters in life. You gotta like pay it back. You gotta.
Oh, and the people that go through this, I don't want to say shit, the stuff.
Stuff. It is shit, but it is
It's
stuff.
stuff, yeah.
It is. It's hard.
I think the best thing for them, and like everyone goes through it in different levels
Everybody.
and stages, but it's like when you know that other people are going through it, it's, what the fuck is Gamblers Anonymous? What is Alcoholics
Yeah.
Anonymous? It's everyone getting together, and contrary to what everyone thinks, it actually helps because it's like, okay, he's going through shit, I'm going through the same shit, I'm not alone. That's why it's powerful. But I just go back to that. You took the neck brace off 6 months, and
that's it.
you had no
Anxiety gone, phobia
getting
gone.
back into society.
And I've been to therapists. This is what I tell people too. I'm not a doctor. If medication works for you, take it. I didn't want it. So I did cognitive behavioral therapy, which I think is the best because it's like you're learning how to get through it by talking it out and doing exercise. So I never wanted to take the medication, and I felt that was the best way. But I also tell people a therapist is like a mechanic or a contractor. You don't just take the first one. You got to find that
Keep it real,
person.
find someone that
I went through
connects.
7. So when I see something, I hate therapists. How many of you went to? 1. I said,
Yeah.
maybe that person doesn't click with you.
Yeah.
Go to the next one, or find. By the time I met my 7th one, he actually saved me. He said, "I don't think you have anything mentally wrong with you." He goes, "I think you're funny as fuck, actually," because I was still funny, but I was struggling.
Yeah.
I think there's something physically wrong with you. And that's when I was like, I'm going back to the doctor. Fuck this. Like, I need to see someone else. Something's right.
When you were trying to figure out what the fuck was wrong with
4
you.
years, 24 professionals. I saw hypnosis. I remember one guy said I was on a pirate ship. I said, I'm in your
You
basement.
think this is
gave
a
me one.
kind of off topic kind of question, but the healthcare system, is it?
It's mental health. I think they're behind. And I think with the money that we give away, I'm not going to name things where we
Let's
give
get
it.
to the COVID, the vaccine.
Yeah, like that should have been mental health is people are suffering way more from that. And I'm not comparing it. That money, like, especially the kids that lost those 2 years, they didn't get to be around people. Like my nephew was an only child. He had to do homework at home by himself, no friends, not going out. Let's check up on them. Let's see like put some resource in that. That's why my book, I want to help as many kids. I want to just let them know they're not alone. And I'm a grown ass man, 43, but I don't care telling the story. Like I just don't care. Like I don't care how it makes me look. And I did it because I wish I had a book like that to read when I bought everything. I was going to like acupuncture, life coaches, put your arm up if you want to have, like, it was all stupid stuff. And I'm like, I don't feel good. You can't give up. Something out there works for you. You just got to figure it out.
But that's, I mean, what you went through, like, it's scary to think that, some people don't get out of that. Some people don't find it. Some
Yeah.
people the mental kill,
Oh, and I told it 2 times. I'm not going to mention what I did, but I tried to just end it.
it's
But then
too much.
I couldn't do that to my mother and my nephews and niece. I can't do that to them. So I was like, that's not fair to them. And at that time, my mom lost both of her parents, so she was like down and out. Imagine I go kill myself. She's finished. She's done.
Yeah.
So I had to like just say fuck it, just keep going. But man, like my love life, I would go on dates, and all of a sudden my head would be like, they're like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I gotta go home." And I had OCD. So if I was even getting in the mix, it was all great during it. When I had to clean up, I'm like, "Gotta go, I gotta clean up." And like Dexter, like I just killed the body. I had the sheets. I was like,
full
all
disclaimer.
this semen's all gone.
No one died.
No one died. No one died in this. It was a kill, but not that kill. That's for sure. But
how many kills?
Oh man,
more than ISIS. Shout out ISIS. You're done now. We're not gonna talk politics on this episode.
Spanish flu. But yeah, so
it's tough, Joe. It's tough.
It is tough, and that's why I relate with people, and I could read people's eyes. One thing that, when I look at someone, I could judge you quick, but not in a mean way. But I could tell when I met you, solid fucking dude right away. I knew.
Belletz.
I could just see in your eyes, you're joyful, like you like making people happier, and I see you with your family, good. But then I see people, and I see darkness sometimes, and it's like, wow, did you get Christmas presents growing up? Like, what did you miss?
Well, I come from the school, like, if you're not gonna be happy, don't go out. Because no one wants to be around you if you're miserable.
To be around you, but if you're miserable, figure out what's making you miserable.
100%.
Like if you're masking it, I find that's even worse.
Sometimes all you need is a drink, and right now, I need another fucking drink. So we gotta count it because Peter's counting the drink, so we gotta put it on the tab.
At the end of the day, he calls the shots.
Ice. Gentani. Mental health, Joe. You want to close it like just
close it off.
Summarize it in a way to help those people watching that may be suffering with something.
Just don't give up. Find resources. Look, study. You want to work on your body, you should be working on your brain as well. Like that should be actually, you should do that before the body and let the body come second. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be embarrassed. I've been there, and I tell people I've seen it all, man. Like, so I'm not going to judge you. And I can't wait to start the process of this movie, and I can't wait to see it.
Can't wait to see it. I got to be either an actor, a producer,
I was
or something.
thinking you should play me, but
I mean, can we throw some hair on there with special effects? Or no?
We'll get a nice. We'll make it. We'll put some flowers in that. Never
make
mind.
my eyes blue and throw some hair on me.
100%.
No, honestly, guys, I'll say this to you: if you see Joey anywhere in the city, not that he's intimidating by any means, but don't be afraid to literally go up to him. He might be sauced. He might,
I'm like sauced.
But if he hears that out of you, like, hey Joe, like
I'll stop what I'm doing and I'll be locked in on you.
Yeah.
Because I'll know where I was and I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I promised myself if I ever get out of this shit, I'm gonna help people and we're gonna talk about it, and that's it.
Yeah. Facts. Okay, that was great. Let's talk about something more lighthearted. Two single men. We're single, right?
Yeah. Like a slice of bread.
Yeah. Marriage. You're Italian. I know Sylvia wants a little bit.
You know what it is with my parents? I can't speak for yours. My mom's like, I love that you're having fun. Yes, does she want a child for me? Another specimen to come into this world? She does, but we have my sister's kids, and I feel like I have 3 kids. My sister's kids
like
are
your own
mine.
kids.
They're
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah,
They're not my niece and nephew. They're my child. I've helped raise them. My brother-in-laws were amazing. They're like, take them. Like, they know when they're with me.
Uncle Joey.
I'm holding their hand. Like, I tell my nephew, he's 25. I'll kiss your face until you're 40, but it's not going to stop.
Tom Brady
But
vibes.
marriage, my mom is like, if I could go back, I would do what you're doing. Like, she comes in here, a little Hennessy in the hand. And she drinks Hennessy straight.
Wow.
My dad's like, he knows I'm a player. Like, my dad looks at me. All his friends, they go hunting together, right?
Yeah.
The one thing about my dad, he'll give me the shit, but if he hears someone else saying something, he's Conan the Barbarian. He's ready to go. A little short story about marriage. And they're like, oh, your son, like this. He's like, don't worry, my son's good. They're like, how come your son never comes hunting with us? They all go hunting with the sons. He goes, my dad's eating the steak. Because I ain't looking up. He's like, the only hunting my son does is in the street. He knows. But they just want me to, especially after they saw those 4 years, they love seeing me happy. That's
oh, fuck.
to them.
You go through that, yeah.
I want kids. I love kids. Like, my sister's had a daycare for 25 years.
Wow.
I have, like, all different cultures calling me Zio for 25 years. I remember, I'm going to speak about cultures, but I got this black kid his name was LeBron, of all names, too.
LeBron?
Second best player of all time. LeBron.
Shout out Kobe.
MJ's number 1.
Oh.
No, Kobe's number 2, sorry.
Sorry, 3 of them.
3.
Yeah.
And I remember the kid looked at me and was like, Zio, bye, Zio. you doing this guy Zio?
Yeah.
Who is Zio? That was me.
Yeah, you're Zio.
It's just
yeah.
I love kids, so I don't know if I want to get married though. Like, I like being alone. I like
It's hard to tame a fucking.
it's
animal,
not
though.
that and you could ask any girl in the city, they'll never say anything bad because I treat them with respect. There's no like I could joke around about I do this and that, but you ask any girl in a room, they're like, yeah, at the end of the day, he's got a big heart. Like
You always get the Uber at the end.
yeah, at the end of the day, Uber share, like those friends on that drive home could be the one that you get married to.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, like that movie,
especially if you make it an Uber X.
100%. But
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna get married. I'll know when
Have
I
you
see
been
her.
close ever? No.
I actually dated someone for 7 years.
7?
From 21 to 28.
Before all the shit.
And she was amazing. Nothing bad about it. I just was too dumb.
Shout out her.
Shout out her.
Shout out-
That's
shout
her
out
name,
him.
her. She was amazing. Like, I'm
Shout out
not
him.
one to be like, oh, she was this. No, she was perfect. I was just too dumb, young.
And you deal with all that shit too.
I had to go through all
Yeah.
that shit, and she didn't deserve that. But then after, I've been single for 14 years.
Has she ever come back to Mademoiselle? Has she ever been at Mademoiselle?
No, she hasn't been to Mademoiselle.
Is
no.
that intentionally, you think?
I don't know.
Should we invite her back? Should we do like a bachelor episode? Give her a rose or something.
no. She has a family. Kids.
Oh, okay. Shout out her. You know you
shout
are.
out to keep those kids.
Yeah, hopefully you watch this.
Yeah,
like and share it.
But no, I wish her the best. I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm one thing with me. I always wish people, whether you screwed me over, the best. But marriage, I just don't know if I could wake up. And, oh my god, you're still here. Why don't you go to the corner store and get me some toilet paper? Because this is shit.
If you did get married, do you think it would be like a old school traditional?
If I
woman?
do get married,
Because these women running around now.
No. This is what I'm gonna do. If I get married and she could say the same thing, there's no more guy trips. There's no more girl trips. We're going together.
Oof.
We're going everywhere together. Where you gotta go fucking suntanning, I'm coming with you. You gotta go on a girls trip, I'm carrying the camera. Like even if I gotta go on a guys trip, I want you to come because if I'm locking in,
You're
it's
locked
like
in.
it's like a fixed mortgage. You can't get out.
That's different.
You can't get out. I want to be locked in. Also, it's not worth it because I see couples. I'm not gonna get into it and mention names. Married
Drop the
people
names.
come here.
Drop the names. Try to go viral. Drop the names.
And like I'm like, oh, I love my husband. Then they come to me and they're doing the splits in the bars. It's not your husband. He's at home.
You love your mom? You
Yeah,
love-
like I see things. And I'm like, I can't trust that. No,
Yeah.
I'm good. I like being alone. I go home. I call my mother.
Yeah.
I got my sisters. I have the best support. So like for me, if you're coming into my life, you're locking in a fucking mother-in-law that people pray for, and a father-in-law that still cuts the grass. He hasn't hired anybody.
I think aside from the fact that you want to obviously continue the
I
family
want kids.
name and
Dad,
that's great.
yeah.
But I think I have aunts that are like 90, never got married, but they literally were the caretakers of the family, and they sacrifice so that so everyone can eat a good meal.
Of course,
or
different
watch
cultures,
the
different,
kid. Yeah,
different upbringing. That
yeah,
they've seen it all. 90 years old.
yeah.
But then they miss out on some things.
They miss
too,
out on
like-
some things, but
yeah,
it's not them like not wanting it.
Yeah,
It's just it
they're
didn't work
providing.
out, didn't
Yeah.
happen, and we need I have a couple aunts that are like they never got married, but they took care of the family, and they're the best cooks. They're the best motherly instincts. You have a problem, you go to them. I don't see any sadness. You went through your sadness. You
Yeah.
went through your sad story. You went through your tough times. Now I see you like. I don't think I've ever had a bad night with you. I'm being honest with you. Like,
No, it's
some nights we
it's
look
a-
at each other and we don't actually look at each other.
Yeah,
because we're so fucked up.
we just hug.
Like,
Yeah.
bro, I'm a couple vodka soda tequila sodas. I'm getting absolutely
Yeah.
fucking sauce right now. I gotta play
100%.
volleyball at 7 o'clock. I don't know what
Buddy,
I'm
I
gonna do.
told you. I go, what are you, Top Gun? This guy's gonna go play volleyball. I looked at him last night. I said, "What are you trying to prove your volleyball?" I said, "I can't even find my balls right now. This guy's gonna play volleyball." In the back of my ass. But
I don't know where we're gonna end up or how we're gonna end up. We might just stay here all over. Is this dress code good? We're already inside. They can't do nothing about it.
Last story I'm gonna tell. I always knew this guy.
End this on a good one, Jojo.
I always knew this guy. I see him in Vegas. I actually thought he was married. And
Shout out my girl
shout
at
out-
that time.
Shout out
You're
to
still-
his fake wife.
Yeah,
that I thought
fake
you were
wife.
married.
You know you
But
are.
he was so cool. And Sacco let me hang in the group. And I was not supposed to be there. I just needed. I told Peter I need a break. I need to relax. I go to Vegas and get cranked. So it was like the opposite of what I needed.
Yeah.
But our friendship was the best part of my trip.
That was like the first time I actually had like a long because we were
Yeah.
together for 4 or 5
4
days.
days in each other's eye.
And you went from Vegas to Miami.
I went to Vegas to Miami, and that was supposed to be my relaxing trip.
Yeah.
Crippled.
No, Exodus, Sacco, shout out Sac,
Yeah,
shout
that
out
was
Vegas,
fucking
shout out the
fun,
win.
man. We're gonna do that again.
We're gonna do that again. We're gonna run
Yeah.
it back. But that was a great trip. Hey, I meeting you, meeting Peter,
Buddy.
Alfie, all these the Vlada, shout out Vlada, shout out my hostesses. They're Ukrainian, they don't speak a lick of English, but it's good.
Nothing.
And you check your code at Mademoiselle. You talked to
Loretta
my
Stone
girl.
made $1 million with us because we're just buying books for them every day.
Joe, this pod actually went exactly as I hoped it would.
Yeah.
And as I expected it to. And I'm feeling good. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I'm great.
I
Mine were-
don't know where we go from here.
I don't know.
But
Can't
Toronto,
drive.
look out.
I'm gonna go to TTC. I'll tell you how much. This is my drive.
Never been on the TDC. Fun
I'm
fact,
gonna,
never
I'm
been
gonna
on the
fucking
TDC.
hit a deer.
Joey T.
Shout out to our friendship, buddy.
Shout out to
Love
our
it.
friendship, Joey T. Thank
Producer
you again,
Terry.
Mademoiselle, hosting.
New guy, I love you
Producer
too.
Terry, Matty Balla. Another episode done. That's 2 Italians back to back. I gotta be careful what I
End
do
of the
here.
day, that's 4 stars.
Ciao, ciao, guys.
Ciao.
The podcast, episode 4,
Habibi, I
season 2.
love you.
We're out.
تلحقها عيون